I just went for it. And with that, we're live. Welcome, everyone. This is going to be a little bit of a different show because we're here to tease you guys. Yeah, we're here to tease you guys maybe more than show a bunch of plots like we've been doing so far. But we're with Floyd, and Floyd represents HODL God, which is exciting. I mean, do you want to introduce yourself as well, and what's your journey in there, like in getting to work with HODL God, and
Yeah, absolutely. So, HODL God is one of our games, but the company behind it is the development studio Genesis, which is who I work for. So HODL God is one of our bigger projects, but we've done some other collabs in the wax space, and we have an up and coming collab with you guys, which is obviously part of the reason why I'm here that we'll get to. But my kind of journey comes from getting into the wax space last year, and then just falling in deeply in love with NFTs and blockchain gaming and everything else that comes down it, and going down that deep dark rabbit hole of when you discover all this thing, and then it now takes over your whole life and everything that you do. But I started moderating and then doing PR work and little bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm Floyd. I'll talk to you a bit about HODL God. We'll do a bit of a teaser for the community for stuff we got coming up together, and then we'll hang out and have some fun from there.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Where are you guys based? Actually, I'm kind of curious. Are you North American? Are you European?
So our team mostly works remotely. So it was founded by Dante and John Scott, and they're out of the United States. Dante's our CEO, and John heads the creative side of it. But I'm in Canada.
They're father and son, right?
Yeah, that's a father and son duo that originally founded it. But I'm in Canada. We have people in the UK, South Korea, New Zealand, India. So we have a fairly large team of people all over the world working together now. So
Canada, you say? Where in Canada? In like Central, West, East? I'm just grilling you now because I just want to know shit.
Yeah, Canada, eh? It's I'm in Alberta, which is on
nice.
the west side. Yeah,
I'm Canadian as well. Actually, I haven't been there in a long time, but I'm from. I'm not going to tell you where I'm from because then you just say I'm not Canadian. I'm American. That pretty much gives it away.
Sounds like you're from Toronto or somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to Toronto. Not quite. Actually, out in the country. But, I left a couple decades ago. But yeah, I mean, I want to go back, and Alberta's really cool. I like it. West Coast is really cool. I like it. Yeah, I like the East Coast as well, and Quebec even, but I just don't like the cold. So yeah, that's cool. How did you get hooked up with the project and the team?
Just originally, like I said, just started off moderating, and then I just kind of got deeper and deeper with the team, and then they started giving me a little more responsibility at a time. Then you know how it goes. I mean, so much of this space, if you're just polite and you talk to people, there's so many awesome people who will share information with you and help you out along the way. So that was all ever my approach really was have fun and try and learn as much as possible. And then, I ended up just getting a little bit of notice from the Genesis crew and then, work hard a little bit in between. And next thing you know, I'm here on your guys' shows hanging out.
It totally is like that. Like things just organically happen and in a really, really nice way. Or like it's really easy to fall in love with this space because of the way things go, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about HODL God? Like, what's going on lately with HODL God? Like, can you brief us in? Like, what's trending?
So HODL God, for people who don't know anything about it, currently is a 3D PvP game, kind of like a battle royale where you get a bunch of people in the server. We spawn you in different parts of a random map, and then everyone runs around killing each other. And then we've kind of put some play to earn mechanisms in. We drop some gold bars in some of the games, which are NFTs. So if you're the last person holding it and you win that match, you win the NFT that we airdrop you. And then that's 10% of the games, and then 30% of the games have raffle tickets. Same thing if you're the last person standing at the end of the match, you win the raffle ticket. And then once a week we go through, airdrop everything because you can directly link your Wax Cloud wallet to it. So there's actually a little bit of gameplay you can see there. So this is our website. It's kind of a fantasy setting. But then some of the NFTs, like these different colored armors that you're seeing, you can buy those NFTs or craft them through Atomic Hub, and then they integrate into the game. But the game's free to play. That top right-hand side where it says download launcher, you can download the game for free if anybody wants to play to get started. And then from there, if you want to get into some skins and stuff like that and armors, you can. These shards here are part of our crafting system, where you can get the armors. So there's like an armor shard, a bow shard, and then a main hand and an offhand. And kind of some cool stuff from the collection side. On the NFT side is as people combine those shards to get the armors, they're burnt, so they become rarer. So you'll see some people holding on to the shards as they constantly get burned and become rarer and rarer, whereas other people are going more for the game side of it. So that's kind of where we're at, and we just keep constantly. It isn't pre-alpha, but it's live. It's free to play, and then through our Discord, we've been working with some community members, and they are giving us some feedback, being that it's pre-alpha. We've had a few bugs and stuff along the way, but we've been getting those smoothed out. Kind of things we got upcoming. We're working on a Xbox One controller support for people who don't like the keyboard and mouse. And then we currently have 2 maps. We're starting to work on a 3rd one. So lots of exciting things going on, and kind of our plan, much like I'm sure your guys' plan, is to just keep building and keep getting bigger and keep getting better and keep having fun along the way.
Yeah, man.
I love what you said. Go ahead.
Sorry, you go for it. No,
go for it.
Now nobody wants to.
I was just gonna comment on real quick, actually, on what catches my attention on HODL God is just for a lot of the games that you have in the space. The visual quality of it stands out. I think like the 3D quality of the actual gameplay is really, really super cool.
Thank you.
We had a question here in the comments from Morton, MD. He wants to know about the dragon skins. Are they going to be used soon, or are they more of a collector's item? Can you speak on that?
These dragon eggs here were a sale we did. So you could buy the dragon egg. We have our own native token called Void. So if you had the dragon egg and you had 10 million Void in the same account, your dragon egg hatched essentially, which was us airdropping you a full-grown dragon NFT. But those eggs are also backed by 1.4 million Void tokens. So if you unboxed them, you could take the tokens after purchasing, or you could hold on to it and get the dragon egg. But those toys they're not going to be in the game. There's not plans to directly integrate that into the game at this time. They will be a part of our NFTFI system, which will be our staking system. That's going to be on the way here in the next few months. So that will be all they'll be used for, other than a collectible at this time.
That's really cool.
They look really cool.
Yeah, they're good. The creative team did a really good job on them. I had to go buy a few myself personally because I was a big fan.
Yeah. No, the way that they're like just come from transparent to actually, opaque, like that's a really super cool animation.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go back to Wensis a little bit. Like you guys have quite a suite of, well, not a huge suite, but an interesting suite of games out there. It's not just HODL God,
Yeah,
I guess
so
that's like your headliner, right?
HODL God's probably our biggest project and probably the thing that most people will know us for. But yeah, so we have HODL God. We've done a couple collabs with Dark Country and Blockchain Heroes. We have our own staking system that's going to be out in the next few months here, as well as Geekcoin was on there. So Onessus won first place in the 2019 DApp Hackathon. Geekcoin's global economic esports community. So that'll be out probably by the end of the year, probably even the third quarter. And that's a decentralized esports community that uses player referees and like peer-to-peer wagers through a Discord server. So that's on the way too. So yeah, we have lots of things and a few more things on the pipeline on top of that I can't go into. But yeah, definitely over the next 6 months or so, there'll be lots of new things coming along with HODL God on SS, Geekcoin, the staking system. So, and then we have our collab of you guys, and then yeah, it seems like it's getting bigger and bigger. I mean, kind of with everything in the space, not just what we're specifically doing, but it's a lot of fun. It's exciting times to be a part of it. So I can't wait to show everyone more.
It seems like you guys are doing that's kind of interesting. That's not sorry, that might not be so common with a lot of other projects. Is you're beginning to think about, and probably quite close if you're talking about it, making the move, over away from computers to PlayStation and things like that, right? To actual like video game consoles. I'm kind of interested in that. Like, there must be quite a few difficulties in that, right? Like, and how do you get the NFTs, to link with those accounts that are on those other things? Like was that something that you designed, or was that something that you guys pulled from somewhere?
So that's part of the reason the game's built on Unreal Engine, is because it has console ports and Mac ports and stuff right out of the box. But as far as integrating the NFTs and stuff, that is our overall goal. But we're probably not going to be there within this year for console port integrations. There's lots of little things like that still need to be worked out. But that is definitely the big picture of where we want to end up here.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's a tough transition to make, right? Like we kind of have that issue too. It's not really our issue. It's more a Minecraft side issue, right? It's like people are always coming in and saying like, I want to play on my Xbox or something like that. Like, why Java? And we're like, I don't know. Ask Microsoft. Like, get them to fix it. Right? that's not us. But like, we use Java. That's what we use. And like, if you want, to play on your Xbox, then get Microsoft to put Java on Xbox, and then we're good, right? Like, yeah. Like it's a tough thing to do. So yeah, 100% fair enough.
But it's tough because this is it's kind of a newer thing, right? Like it's not something that's been done for years and years, and you already have a guide you can just look up. Like a lot of us are trying to find a new way to make this happen. And that takes time, which is when you're dealing with kind of this crypto NFT space that moves so quickly and builds take so long. It's kind of a difficult thing to balance between getting things done and making people happy and then doing the right thing for the build.
The hype builds like way faster than the development can be built, right? Like can be done. And I think like a lot of the difficulties that you're gonna find is this question is really interesting from Jimmy too. In the consoles or be it in any kind of more traditional industry that you have to deal with, like the acceptance of crypto and anything related to it there's always a resistance, right? Like not everyone understands, and then there's policies and there's things that you have to abide to. So it's really complicated. But eventually we're gonna get there. It's just that for the people who are in the space, and especially the new people that don't understand all these hurdles, it's hard for them to just accept, it's going to take longer to develop because we just can't go faster than this. Like, oh no, but we need it now. And you're like, well, you can't have it now. Hopefully you'll have it soon. And managing those expectations is the tough part, right?
Yeah, it's especially hard, and it's growing so quickly too, right? Like there's so many new people coming into the space, and I get that sometimes there could be, if you've never been involved in crypto or blockchain gaming or NFTs before, it can be maybe a little bit of a hurdle. But yeah, trying to find that balance between how quickly we can develop things and making people happy is definitely a challenge. But I mean, that's half the fun as well.
Yeah.
So let's try to get to a little bit of the spoiler, not too much. But before IM, grinds his teeth out of his head, because he said that like 3 minutes ago, and I'm sure he's like super, wanting to know what's happening. We love you, IM. With the Uplift collab. So there's kind of an above and beyond mini relationship that's been forming behind the scenes between the Onesis team or the HODL God team and the Uplift team. So what can you tell us about that? Obviously, you guys have a community plot. Maybe let's start there. What are your plans for your community plot? Do you have any plans like to build it out? Do you have any plans like how are you gonna involve your community, your overall community? Like, what are the schematics for that look like?
Yeah, so we do have a community plot, which is still currently under development. So I think we're a few weeks out at least from getting it built. Maybe further, it depends how long it takes, and but it's still being built, so it's on the way. And like you said, we've partnered up together, kind of from our side or our perspective. Is we want to, we're a huge company that believes in play to earn. That's our model. So we want to make sure down the road there's going to be kind of some gamification where people can come onto our plot within your guys's server, and then have a chance to earn the same way they would if they're playing our game. That's a big thing that we believe in within blockchain gaming. So we are going to be having some incentives, I'll say, without trying to give away too much, but I can tell you there will be incentives. And if you know what we do for incentives, you'll have a good idea where to start. And then you can probably imagine from there some of the other things we might be doing. But yeah, it is being built right now. I'm super excited to see it. I know it's still being developed. I know it takes time to build these amazing plots that you guys do. I've seen some different pictures from different companies. I'm super stoked to see more on ours, and then get it out to the public and get people in there and get them earning. Yeah, hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But like we said, all great things take time in this space, so we'll ask for everyone's patience. And then before you know it, you'll be running around on your Minecraft HODL God land, and you'll be earning something. That's for sure. So.
Jim, you're muted. You're double muted.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, Jimmy.
I guess I'm self-muting myself because I know I'm about to say things I'm not supposed to say. So yeah, let's just leave it at that. No, but seriously, like we're in the business of building paradigm shifts around here, and a lot of what we have been doing that has actually become successful is essentially going and building, MVPs, minimum viable products, minimum viable ideas, MVIs, whatever. Just make up any acronym for minimum viable that turns out to be awesome, and just slap it on that phrase. And that's kind of the model that we have, and I really respect that, because I respect that too, but I really respect what you said. Sorry, that's where I was headed with that. Like the fact that you can have these two different projects that can look at, what the other one has created, and then figure out a way to envelop or incorporate part of one project with the other project on an equal basis, so that both projects can come out ahead, is really, really cool, right? And like, there's a lot of community plots that are doing a lot of different things within the Uplift, which is great. But the fact that you guys are explicitly stating that, like, this is what we're doing with our game, and we want to replicate it over there with your game, or with your metaverse, and vice versa, right? So, I mean, again, read between the lines. Like, it has something to do with something that we've already done. It has something to do with that you guys have already done. I mean, if it's great idea that's even better than our idea, then just make it happen. And we can take credit for that part too, I guess. But I think, yeah, just read between the lines, and there's some really cool things happen. We could give a couple of spoilers, right? Like, you guys are planning on doing some really cool stuff with some NFTs in your plot. You're going to give them away. People will be able to come. You're planning on doing some like really cool things, probably with. I'm just going to leave it there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I can see the pain, when you're like, I wanted to say something else, but I'm not sure what I'm going to say, if I should say it. So it's okay. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I won one match back when it was only 5 people in HODL God. Now I have no chance.
Yeah, I feel your pain too, buddy. I jump in the server and it's gotten a lot busier in all of the servers, and a lot more people are playing, and a lot more people are playing a lot and have gotten very good. I every time I jump in there, because it's PvP, I can assure you that my matches do not last very long, as I am not nearly as skilled as some of the community members, and almost instantly. Usually I get about 2 minutes, depending on where I spawn on the map, but usually I'm dead quite quickly. It's gotten hard. We have.
I mean, you can't be that bad. You work for the company. Seriously.
I know. I'm trying to be humble.
Okay. Well. Then see, my calling you out successfully worked. Is it on the computer you're on now? Spin it up. Let's see it. Let's see you in action. I would love to see that, actually, if you got time to do that. That would be really cool. There's a lot of people out there. Let's do it.
Okay, give me a second. Let me go grab my mouse.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, that'll be fun. I think like the potential for what they can bring into the Uplift. There's a lot of great projects, that are coming into the Uplift, but
it's different when there's a project that already has like a robust mechanism of their own, like they do, right? Which they have a lot of stuff to add to it as well, right?
Well, and there seems to be like categorizations within the affiliate projects that are in the Uplift world. Like there's a lot of NFT projects, like physical based 2-dimensional NFT projects. There's a lot of gallery projects. There's a lot of music projects. There aren't that many PvP 3D type of gaming projects in there, and I think the potential for design of a plot with a PvP 3-dimensional gaming project is really interesting, because like if we look at what some of the people have done on the rail plots that they bought in Genesis and stuff like that, with like the giant robots or the giant like Pikachu, Pokemon dragon characters, like it's really, really interesting to see what you guys come up with, like what concepts you come up with from the game, like what things get built. Like I'm gonna be really sad if there isn't a dragon egg somewhere there that's like built into 3-dimensional, right? Like I'm just gonna say. So
okay,
fair enough. Yeah.
So if you just share your screen, we can see it. All right, and I'm wondering, like because people can just jump in there randomly, right? So I'm just waiting on IM to like be in there waiting for you to snipe you off out of the corner. Here's your chance for your 6th win, IM. Oh, sorry, that happened.
You guys see the screen?
Yeah,
I try to do the same thing at the same time. Yeah, we can.
Just always remember to ask before you hit the end broadcast button. Yeah, that's the golden rule of this stream. Corey and I had like 8 people on here once, and we both pressed the button at the same time. And obviously, you can't press the button at the same time. And the broadcast ended because one of us was thinking it was going live, and the other one was thinking it was going live. And once it goes live and it ends, you can never recreate it again. That was fun.
We have a slight issue that I have an update ready.
I mean, that's kind of a promotional event in itself, is it not?
Yeah, there's a new patch ready to go.
Constantly getting patches and promotions, and I mean fixes and new features coming up. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean that is the entire plan, is for us to constantly keep updating it as we go and adding new content.
Yeah, that's a nice concept, and I think you can do that even better, maybe in pre-alpha, but hopefully you can sustain that afterwards as well.
Yeah, well, that's what we want to do. I mean, the game's PvP right now, but down the road, we're planning on adding some PvE elements too. As we know, not everyone's the biggest fans of PvP. It's usually a love-hate relationship for people. So
Yeah,
they love it when
I
they win.
understand.
They hate it when they die.
yeah, that's exactly how that relationship works.
Yeah, no, I do like PvP, but I don't like it all the time. I understand what you're saying as well. Like I like PvP, but maybe a little bit of it is fine. But I've never been one of the guys that just wants a PvP game in that game only for like a really extended period of time. And maybe the only exception to that was Counter-Strike when it was first came out, like back in Half-Life days, like those kind of things. Then I played a lot of it, but after that, not really much.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, sorry. You said Counter-Strike. I was thinking something else. I was like, dude, seriously, how old are you? Like, are you older than me? Like, I was thinking. What was it? There was that old Nintendo game called Contra or something, and I was like,
Contra, yeah. Well,
I was like, that
nice,
wasn't PvP. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You guys sold packs, right?
Yeah, we did sell packs.
I think I have like a couple that I haven't actually opened. If I'm honest about it, I think.
Yeah, if you have some starter packs or the Immortal Genesis packs, those are starting to get rare. There's quite a few of them that have been opened from people chasing shards and combining stuff. So it's definitely a good pack to have. I mean, we're not going to release any more of these Immortal Genesis sets, so. Where they're at is where they're staying at. We're not going to be releasing new packs for the Immortal Genesis set. So we have 5 bounty contracts, which is 5 different armors as part of them right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I like it because we can rehash like the history of this show. We can talk about how we all feel about the things that we've said. It'll be really good. Let's start with you because you said something that I thought was quite interesting. You said, I asked you how you got into the space, and you were like, oh yeah, just be nice and like, just like, help people and like just get involved. And it's funny because we had Terry Crews on the show the other night. Terry Crews is from he's from
Ultra Rare and We Can.
Ultra Rare and We Can and Our Planet. And he's Canadian as well. And so here's what I've discovered. If you want to be like a community, leader for any of these awesome companies, just move to Canada for a year and you'll be nice enough to get the job. I'm pretty sure that's like how it works, right?
Yeah. So okay. Terry was one of the first people I got to know in the space too. So some of my friends have a community group called the Atomic Kings, and Terry's a part of that, and they're like all Canadian. So when I first got into space, Terry was one of the people helping me along the way. So Terry's awesome.
I'm very impressed with his ability to just be everywhere. Like he's just in so many channels that I'm part of as well. He's so active everywhere. Like I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. I remember when I first got into the space and I was trying to keep up with everything. And he's like, just quit your job already. You're going to be a cyber nerd soon anyway. This is all you're going to do. And I was like, what are you talking about, Terry? Like, I've been doing this for 2 weeks. This was last year. He's like, no, you will be. And then, yeah, sure enough, he was right. But
man, I need to quit some of my jobs. Seriously. Like, I'm like, yeah, like I totally need to quit some of my jobs. I don't have any time. It's like crazy. Yeah,
it's hard when you're doing multiple things, isn't it, to try and be everywhere.
Well, it's worse it's worse that I live on the other side of the world. The missus worked today, so she came home, and I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, so I had her today most of the day, and we're just not gonna talk about the werewolf sounds in the jungle for a while. We'll let that roll over. But anyway, it was pretty funny. She's like, are you going to come to bed? And I'm like, I think so. Like, yeah, I'll come soon, eventually. She's like, really? Like, you always say eventually, and you come at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'm like, well, that's because people keep scheduling me interviews that start like at 1 a.m.,
I'm very sorry about that.
No, but me and Cowie, we're taking over the Journey show. We're rescheduling everything to like, normal wakeable hours for us. Cause like, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in the world
We're
are you
just gonna
going?
say like Asia. Well, I'm in Indonesia and Jim is in Japan.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. And yeah,
that's
it's
how we
true.
know each other. We both live in Asia, and every non-Asian that lives in Asia knows every other Asian that lives in Asia.
You guys
Non-Asian
probably have
that
your
lives
own
in Asia.
community, hey?
Yeah, like we just hang out. Just like everyone from Toronto knows Bob from Vancouver.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny. Like the start was like that, and it's like it started with me and Corey brainstorming, like let's just do the show, and then okay, all of a sudden I'm scheduling like the time that made sense for like EST, the time where Corey's in, and I'm like okay, and then I just tell Jimmy like, look, Corey's really busy, and I'm about to start like these shows, like if you're keen, like let's just start and see how it goes like between us, and then we start, and now we're at the point like okay. Like those initial times did not work. Let's just make over and just like start scheduling things at times that make sense for us.
Yeah, no, you have to. It's hard though. Like this space is so international and global. When you're trying to schedule things with people when they're in completely opposite time zones of you, sometimes it can be difficult. But
I had this thing where I used to keep a list, right? And I always wanted to go to as many countries as I was my age. I thought that was really cool. I mean, I started this when I was like 20, and I'm 45, and I haven't, I'm always just been like quite shy of that, right? And then more, you get busy in life, the harder it is to travel. And I was getting close when I was in my 30s, but then it kind of started to go downhill from there. As things do when you're in your 30s. And now I'm at the point now where I'm just like, I guess I'm gonna have to give that goal up, because like I don't know if I can make up those lost journeys, right? It's gonna be tough now. But it's funny because I was thinking today, and I said to Mrs. today, I said, we got like 4 years before we legally have to put our daughter in school. And like technically we don't legally have to put her in school because like I am a registered teacher, but I mean, I don't want to teach. So like 4 years, I'm like, what if we just like move somewhere new every 3 months? Like, let's just give her. And of course that joke went over my wife's head because she's not Canadian, so she doesn't say give her, number one. And number two, she totally forgot that we watched that movie Given. If you ever seen that movie Given, it's kind of a weird, like kind of like docudrama type of thing with told through the perspective of like a 4-year-old or 5-year-old boy whose dad is a surfer, and they just like basically go from country to country to country. It was really interesting. It was a really interesting concept. I thought about an RV, but it's going to be really difficult for me to put a family in an RV. But I would do it in New Zealand, Morton MD. And I'm just talking here because I'm curious how big this patch is, Floyd. It must be a really big patch. We're still waiting on the load, right?
Oh, sorry. It was 100%, but I was so into your story that I didn't even boot it up.
See, that's why they need to do this shit.
Yeah, man, that's it. I was just gonna say that. Like you have this, you just entice people. Like just look at me and hear what I'm saying.
No, but like I think it would be really cool, and like I was kind of joking about this, but this is what I want to do. Like I was thinking, like it's been a long time since I've been back to Canada. Like I was joking with Corey about this. I'm like, let's just make everyone happy. Because no matter when we do the show, someone's going to complain. So maybe I'm just going to take a year, right? And I'll just like travel like across the world, across America. And like, I'll only do shows with people that I'm sitting in the same room with. And it's like, hey, Floyd, we're going to do a show today. Are you ready? Like, I'm down at the cafe. Come pick me up. We sit in the backyard, like, I mean, it's Alberta, depending upon where you are. We can even put our swimsuits on and like get in the onsen, like, get in the hot pad things, like it'll be great. And like do those shows, like, all across America, right? With Jimmy D and Cowie, like you're getting pretty good at this podcast and stuff too. So like you could do South America, and then we could just meet in the middle, wherever the middle is. I think it might be Panama, but I'd be cool to meet with you in Panama. You could be on one side of the canal, I could be on the other side, and that could be the final episode of series 1. We would be the new, who was that dude from Lord of the from Lord of the Rings that did the Across America, like it's a show where he went from like England to Ewan McGregor. He went from like London to South Africa, and he went like all the way around the world. That could be you and me, Cowie. This is what we could do. 3, 2, 1. HODL God, go.
I'm on. I'm just gonna say that I'm off for that. Ooh.
Oh, I'm a little laggy here. I think the computer is struggling to keep up.
I like the motion blur, like effect when you turn around.
Yeah, so you have a couple different weapons. So these are my swords. And then you also have this bow on your back that you can use.
Are those NFTs or they're just like in-game assets?
So this is I've equipped a Demon Gene bounty contract that I'm wearing right now, which is one of the ones you'd find on Atomic Hub. I'm sure as soon as I find someone, I'm going to get slaughtered. Yeah, so I'm wearing one of the bounty contracts. You get a sword and a bow. So depending on, where do you go? Depending on, it's behind me.
Oh.
And then you have a couple different, like you can use F7. Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, I'm dead. You can use F7 to heal yourself. You can use different magic abilities, freeze. Here, we can probably spectate someone who's far better than me and not trying to talk at the same time. But the person that you're seeing now is actually, if you don't own our NFTs, this is kind of your default character. So you get no advantage from owning the NFTs. This guy is hiding. And you can see this is Liquid Titan. He just froze him. So it's personal preference. And then this is one of 2 of our maps that we have live right now, and there's a third one on the way. And then this blue that you're seeing here is to try and prevent camping. So the longer that the match goes on, that kind of blue screen comes in. If you're outside of it, you'll die.
Okay.
We don't want people just camping in a corner, not trying to fight, trying to hold an NFT. We want it to be a fun, like interactive experience for everyone, right?
Yeah,
so
like back in the Doom days or the James Bond days. I used to play James Bond with my university roommates, and like that was horrible because everyone could see your screen because you had to be in the same room in those days. And my mate, he used to know the map like inside or out, and he would just sit in a corner. And like I would walk somewhere, and he would like throw a rocket like 5 floors up and 2 rooms over, and I would die every single time because he knew where I was. And I'm just like
the GoldenEye game.
Yeah, the GoldenEye.
Oh man, I loved that game. I loved it so much. I
played a lot of that game as well.
Right.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to like that feeling, that emotion that you get, right, to be able to run around and do that. So
yeah, it's true.
So this is kind of how the menu looks. So you log in, and then we're constantly adding stuff, but we have little directions on how to link your Wax Cloud wallet on here, and then you can pull up your inventory. So I have a couple NFTs out, which are different armors I can wear. And then you have like practice mode if you want to just go in and kind of learn the map, learn the control. And then the actual multiplayer as well. And this is new. We just came out with a leaderboard system. So you get XP based on kills and things like that. So we're going to have that. And then once our staking system goes live down the road, you'll be able to, even if you're not really a player, you're more of a collector. Those contracts are going to be playable in the PvE mode down the road. So you would be able to lease them out to a top ranked player if you wanted somebody else to go play it and collect the armors that comes from that. Looks like we got a question down here. Void is earnable. So Void will be earnable through our kind of staking system, our NFTFI system. which latest it'll be here will be end of Q3, which would be September 30th. But I got a feeling it's probably going to be before then. But I haven't got the green light from the development team, so I'm going to say September 30th.
Okay. That's safe.
Yeah, playing it safe just in case.
I mean, in Canada, I'm pretty sure you have to wear pants. But in Japan, I'm not wearing pants. Like, screw that. Not at a hot spring. Like, people are gonna laugh at you. It's like going to a Turkish spa with like pants on. It's just weird. It's like being the. Never mind. I don't want to offend anyone here. It's like being the kid and like this is crazy to me. Sorry, I'm just going to go off on a little bit of a tangent, right? So Japan is like ridiculously humid. It's one of the like most humid countries in the world, right? At the high schools here, they don't have showers, right? So you remember like when we were in high school in Canada and like after PE class, everyone would shower except for that one or two people, and that one or two people like they were the smelly kids, and you never want to be the smelly kids. I mean, there's no smelly kids in Japan because after PE, they all smell equally bad because they just use these like little wet wipes to like, wipe off and do that kind of thing. And this is a country of like onsens. This is a country of like hot baths, right? And yeah. So I'm just going to say like, if there's anyone in the government out there from Japan that's listening to this episode, don't listen to any other episodes, by the way. That wouldn't be a good thing. But this episode in particular, that if you might happen to be listening to, just please put showers in the boys and girls, washrooms in high schools, because that would be something that your country folk would really appreciate and enjoy. But yes, I will
and there's
wear.
Your message. That's a very good message. And it's what I like about it is just that it's the appropriate, medium for us to convey that message to the world. So that's I love that, man. I love it.
How many people from the Japanese government do you think are listening to us right now?
Well,
at least a few.
For sure.
I'm hoping zero, but it's like my way of finding out how many people are listening, because like, if in 10 years there's no showers in Japanese public or high schools, then I know that they weren't listening to me, right? Because like, I mean, Japanese politics is kind of like mad cow disease. Like the symptoms like actually happen like a decade later. They don't really know what's going on, and like the bureaucracy is ridiculously slow. So yeah, if they are listening, I might be in Canada very quickly.
Oh man, yeah. What else? Is there anything else that you'd like to convey, in this episode as well from HODL God or from the team or from you? Like, just want to kind of open the stage as well for you to announce anything, or just send a message, personal message, whatever you want.
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything. I see we got a question down here. Let's see what this is. So there's a couple ways to obtain Void. You can buy it from Alcor Exchange. It is tradable on Alcor. That or the Dragon Egg toy collectibles and the armors and the weapons, those will have Void inside. So you could unbox those for Void if you'd like. So it's up to you how you would like to go about getting it. But yeah, Alcor is the exchange market that it's tradable on if you're looking to buy some. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I mean, I'm super excited that for when we can tease more of our collab. On the Uplift side of it. So.
We don't need to rush as well, because we're gonna have you on the show again, to actually properly talk about what's coming and all that, right?
We're not. This show's not going anywhere. Like, I really like doing the daily show with Corey on a daily basis. It's difficult to explain because it was supposed to be a weekly show, but then it became daily, right? And then this thing here was supposed to be like, kind of a one-time thing. Let's introduce the projects, but like now it's not going anywhere. Like, we have to keep it, because like I'm having so much fun meeting the communities and seeing their builds and even interacting with the game and things like that. That I don't think it's gonna. I think it needs to be like a little bit more spaced out. not 2 or 3 a day, but like I think it needs to be like a key part of this channel, right? Like, and I think it's gonna be a really good resource for people to see. It's gonna be like the history, where people can see, where projects built. But yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. And I just want to point out, okay, can I just say something, by the way? Yes, I do enjoy a glass of shochu during this broadcast. But I will point out that today I've actually only had 1.5 glasses, and usually I've had way more. And this is the problem, right? This is me, not having shochu. Let's just put it that way. You can see why I drink now.
Man, I would argue that you're interesting in both states, so it doesn't really matter in the end. But I appreciate the insight, because it's an inside insight, and we don't have access to that unless you tell us that. So thank you.
No, they're just like, I love Martin MD. He's one of my favorite people. I don't know what he does, but whatever he does, I want to do it, because I just want to be on here and like heckle a guy like me all the time, and that's what he does. And he's really good at it. He's one of my favorite people. He's just great. So Floyd, I really enjoyed meeting you. And I'm really excited to see like how this pans out. And like Cowie said, please come back anytime. And I kind of want to slot you into a roundtable too, I think. And I want to talk about the potential for blockchain gaming, and maybe even like how we can infiltrate that console market, and how we can get people interested. I think that would be a really cool like crypto writer roundtable topic. And so if you're game for that sometime, maybe I'll hit you up for that as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure to meet both of you. I'd say, once we get the full HODL God Uplift community plot built, maybe we'll come back on and we'll do a big kind of reveal or something. But if you have anything else in mind, you want to do a roundtable, hit me up on Telegram. This was a lot of fun, so I'd love to do more things in the future.
Yeah, and happy Father's Day to everyone who's celebrating it. I appreciate everyone who came join us tonight, or today, or this afternoon, wherever you are. It depends. I'm just thinking now, Jimmy, like how we should actually end this show. Like what are you thinking? Like any ideas on?
Well, Floyd, if you had an ending, what would it be?
Yeah.